folks to make this all possible.
Know that you captured those special moments. Turn them into lasting memories at the TDC Business Center. Purchase your photo print bundle and get a chance to win a Canon MG3010 printer. Click and print. Visit TDC Business Center today.
Cool. Energize your goals with Lucozade. Get it cool. Look under the cap. Find the code. Win it. Thousands in prizes. iPhones and TVs. Or win 30 grand US dollars for your goals. That's goals.
For a chance to win 30,000 US dollars. Purchase any Lucozade Energy promo bottle. Look under the cap and find the code to win iPhones, TVs, and free Lucozade for 30,000 US dollars to energize your goals. See website, social media, or press for details. Lucozade, taste the energy.
Flow Broadband and TV is packed with even more value as you get a free Samsung tablet, free installation, and 50% off your bill for 3 months when you sign up now. Yes, a free Samsung tablet. Power all you do at home with up to 100 megabits per second super fast broadband. Plus, stay HD entertained with Flow TV. Stream, share, and do more on your new free tablet, which will also keep you connected on the go with ease. Sign up at a Flow store today. Conditions apply.
Back with you, folks, and yes, we're launching another episode of The Voices. We're in the month of May, and among other things, it's Lupus Awareness Month. It's the very last day of the month, and so I thought I would dedicate a certain segment of the program to this particular issue. I did reach out to Miss Kisa Isaac Adams, and it was a maybe whether she was sure or not. But I brought a song that when the engineers are ready, we'll cue it in. It's really all about bringing awareness or more awareness to the dreaded disease called lupus. It's largely overlooked. It's one of the NCDs that don't get as much attention as maybe the diabetes, the hypertension, and the other maladies, but it speaks to the issue of lupus. And I know there was a program planned, supposed to be a ball at some point, but due to the issues, the challenges of COVID-19, like many other things, it had to be postponed. So it's an open mic today. I don't have an in-house guest. So we're going to just entertain any topic. We're going to talk about water shortage. Have you guys ever heard about paradise without rain? We know we live in a paradise. It's called to walk in the shoes, but to walk in the shoes. Yes, we know we live in a paradise, a tropical paradise called St. Christopher Neve. It's beautiful. But of course, of late, we've been having a drought. And you know what? We have a call on the line. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Voices. Hello there. Is there a call on the line? And just to remind you, we missed that call. Okay. For those... Okay, we have a next call on the line. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Voices.
Good morning, the King.
Good morning, sir. How about that?
I'm good. Good morning. I respect your topic for this morning, but I would like if you would permit me to put something out there.
Definitely.
Yes. Friday, I mentioned something on the Friday program to Mr. Cornelius, and it was the 7 principles of the Babylon system.
The 7 principles of the Babylon system.
The 7 pillars of the Babylon system.
Okay.
And, I outlined them, but I want to re-emphasize it again. Religion, government, economics, social, media, not social media together. Social by itself, media, we have education and entertainment. And I'm going to go into a bit of them just for us to know where we are. How are we plugged into that system?
Okay.
religion is something that was, invented by men, and the Babylon system has imposed it upon us, along with the government system, economics. But what I want to stress on this morning is entertainment, because we are plugged into that system, and at the same time, it is clouding our vision from what is happening to us as a people, in the sense of we are so unaware of what is happening on the continent of Africa that
When you say us,
seem to us
define us. You're generalizing
black race.
us. Okay.
The black race, we in the diaspora, in America, in Europe, in Australia, in the Caribbean, we, the black race. Now, the entertainment system that we have, and we are so, tangled up in, when I say they, I mean the system, they're using 5% of the power that we have, and they're using that in all form of media, showing us everything that keep us in the sense of focusing our energy to their narrative. Now, I want to let our people know that 90% of our 95% of our energy has been encapsulated in our blood. This is our melanin. Our ancestors saw the creatures when they were coming, and they had to hide this energy. So yes, it was hidden from us, but it's in our blood. So we now have to look into our inner selves and know who we are, and we need to unplug from this matrix that these creatures have given us. Now, why I say that, we have telephone, the king.
Communication.
We have telephone now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Among every other form of communication, our ancestors were telepathic. This system that we have, they got it from us. They show it to us in movies. I remember growing up as a kid, I used to watch Sinbad. I don't know if you're familiar. Alibaba and the 40 Thieves.
Yes, we had those stories in school. Yeah.
And in those movies, you see they put a white girl on a hill, and she just put her hand across her temple, and she communicate with another. These were not these people. This is our ancestors' ability to telepath communication. So now we have telephone, and it's a good thing, but we need to unplug and focus our energy on what our ancestors had. This is the only way we can bring down the Babylon system. Now, I'm going to put out for those who are listening and those who are interested, who want to know what is happening on the continent, because, today, last week and the week before, the president of France have called a summit, and a whole lot of things going on. And in my opinion, he is just desperate, wanting to maintain his grip on the continent. And it's working in the sense that, the old leaders on the continent, they're part of that system.
I can tell you have a whole lot of stuff to cover. I can tell that. I can sense your passion, but it's you need to confine yourself to a specific area.
Let me put out this platform that those who are listening, if you're interested, we have Make Africa Great. You can go on YouTube, Facebook, Wake Up Africa, Newsroom Africa, Pan-African Daily TV.
These are websites.
These
are websites that you want people to log on to?
Yes.
Okay.
Because, you see, the West is not showing us the progress in Africa. You can't see this on BBC, you won't see it on CNN. Make Africa Great.
That's one.
On YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Wake Up Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Newsroom Africa.
Okay.
Pan-African Daily TV.
Okay.
Once you subscribe, the king, you would be fed positive energy. Our people need to unplug from the matrix system of Babylon and rise up.
So these give you access to information, and we know knowledge is power, right?
Exactly. What we need to do now going forward, we need to create our own alternative system for ourselves. We need to walk away from the Babylon system, and we need to develop a solid heart of prayer to our ancestors and the Most High. We are a highly advanced being, the King. If we dig into
You're bringing the same message that Marcus Garvey would have tried back in the 20s, etc., etc.
Yes, the King.
I understand that. So it's a huge
those
platform.
who want to bring this across to the biblical sense. I'm going to finish up now.
Please.
I'm sure you know the story of Esther and Mordecai in the Bible.
In the Bible, yes.
No. Mordecai said to Esther when Haman wanted to destroy the people, her people, Mordecai said to Esther, and I'm quoting because I can't remember exactly, but he said, "Who knows if this is not the time that you have come to the kingdom to save the people?" Our melanin it's not hidden anymore, so we have to find it, and now is the time that our melanin are surface, and it's like they say, what has been hidden from the wise and the prudent is now being revealed to babes. We need to wake up and plug from this narrative that they have, that they gave us, and plugged into what is happening for our own race. I'm not telling anybody to hate anybody, because I don't hate. I despise the wickedness that's been done to us, but I'm not hating anybody.
Okay, gotcha.
But they need to be confounded. The biggest diamond that you and I know about, and those people who set up the kingdom in the UK, that diamond wasn't given to them. They gave us a Bible that says, "Thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill." Well, let us just analyze what they have done while they're telling us, don't kill and don't steal. Thank you for taking my
Thank you
call.
much for your contribution. I got a line in my song that says, when the biggest diamond is found, the British Crown, hey, I'll get back to that after. We're going to pause now for a word from our sponsors. I'll get my tongue untied to do that. So, to the board and a word for sponsors.
Broadband and TV is packed with even more value as you get a free Samsung tablet, free installation, and 50% off your bill for 3 months when you sign up now. Yes, a free Samsung tablet. Power all you do at home with up to 100 megabits per second super fast broadband. Plus, stay HD entertained with Flow TV. Stream, share, and do more on your new free tablet, which will also keep you connected on the go with ease. Sign up at a Flow store today. Conditions apply.
Gift for Dad's birthday? Click. Ooh, Janice's retirement party? Click. Outfit for my girl's wedding? Click.
With TDC Airbox, you click, we ship. Register for your free US mailbox today and shop all your favorite stores online. Enjoy the convenience. Free consolidation up to £10. Competitive rates. Free package tracking account with live notifications. Free delivery and, of course, excellent customer service. Visit our website at tdcairbox.com and register today. For more information, visit our offices at the C.A. Paul Industrial Site in St. Kitts and Penny's Industrial Site in Nevis. Follow us on social media at TDC Airbox. TDC Airbox. You click, we ship. Terms and conditions apply.
Dedicated to Miss Keisha, Isaac Adams, and the many millions around the world affected by and trying to cope with lupus. Not enough is known about its causation, and it is known that there is no cure.
For some who must endure this lifelong affliction, oftentimes they wish their lives were no more. And those symptoms may vary. Invariably, systemic lupus drains you of your energy, affecting the skin, joints, and organs, seemingly without rhyme or reason, for over 5 million people globally. This is the new reality, no returning to normalcy as before. But there is one thing that is known for certain. With each new day, we gotta find that strength within. It's like pushing a boulder up a mountain. We can't afford to give up or give in. We must be strong and soldier on, thanking all who stand with us in our battle. Grateful to those who try their best to understand, but can never till they walk in our shoes.
As indicated at the top of the program, this is all in dedication to Lupus Awareness Month. We're on the very last day of May, and there were plans to have a ball, but of course, due to the challenges of COVID-19, that has been postponed. It's designed to bring awareness to the many people or persons suffering globally. We're told it's over 5 million persons, and we have so many in the Federation who, I reach out to some people, send a song to them and say, my nephew, my niece, my husband, etc. is afflicted by lupus, so thank you for the song. And sometimes we tend to overlook these issues. We go straight to the board. Caller, you live on Voices. Welcome to the program. Caller, you live on Voices. Welcome to the program.
Greetings, King.
Blessings to you.
How is that?
Pardon?
How are you?
I am counting the blessings first, so I'm okay.
Yes, thanks. Okay, we want to talk about a sad situation. I think it, and that is the nastiness that we still continue seeing, to a point where you try certain area. Me's a walk foot, man. Sometimes I get on bicycle. I go through and sometimes we get stinking scent and all that. Or some place of food that's we see in the rat. We ain't seeing holy rat again, but we still seeing a rat coming out of places where deal with food. Occasionally we see a rat running and a run out,
Have you reached out to the Department of Health?
Pardon?
Have you reached out to the Department of Health?
Yeah, man, we do that all the time.
Okay, beautiful.
And it continues as though we can't do nothing about it. And I know we can do something about it.
Definitely.
Yeah, for some reason or the other, we just make it go on and go on and go on. The drains them full of garbage. People just are litter. People just are litter here and litter there. And what we see add to it is people who no born yet, so them come and them watch the practice of some of the citizens who nasty.
Let me ask a question. Do you see this as a lapse in our behavior? Because I was pretty sure that the Department of Health, Solid Waste, had this program, like on steroids, the cleanup processes and stuff like that was in place. So is it a lapse? Is it a reversal of what became the norm?
Listen to me, brother.
Mm-hmm.
The nastiness is more than the cleaning. That's the situation we're having. Say cleaning are go on,
Mm-hmm.
But the nastiness are go on more than the cleaning. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Cleaning are go on. We see cleaning are go. We see, okay, take the green space that we have in our midst, the square.
Yes.
Independence Square. You know, see what go on in Independence Square, my brother?
I've seen vendors now operating there.
Time, when them walk and them clean, we not about no bush, because all we just see inside the scrape and the ground bush, We're not seeing that. We see all kind of items the front of bush inside of the square.
Okay. But are the garbage,
It's be arrested.
are disposal bins in the square?
Yes, but people
But
come
people
from
still-
all over the place. People they use them. People come from all over the place and full up them there. They come digging in them.
Wow.
People, no man, the situation is terrible. It's terrible. I mean, no, we're talking about health.
Well, I
A joke,
trust,
we a joke,
I trust
man.
the relevant person that are listening, because this can be part of a bigger problem if it's not checked immediately.
Of course, of course.
And I want to
Anyhow,
thank you
there's
and people
other
like you.
people
I want to
that
thank
do.
you and people like you who make note of these things and make it known to the public, because some people that bypass and say it's not my business. So you are doing human service in terms of seeing around.
The thing is that, you know, it ain't me alone I see this thing here, you know, because people not blind, you know.
Mm-hmm.
People not blind, and people know the car off. All this thinking
That is
sent
why I'm
down by the
saying I'm
cinema there.
thanking you.
Just pass down by the cinema and just...
Sorry, we would have lost a caller. And I was saying to you, if you're listening on here, I was thanking you for stepping forward and letting people know what's happening, because, as you say, lots of other persons would have seen this thing and just passed by casually as if it doesn't bother them. So I want to thank you for that. We go back to the lines and entertaining this call. Caller, you're live on Voices. Good morning, caller. You're live on Voices.
Hey, the King, good morning.
Respect to you, sir. How are you?
And I'm giving thanks. And yourself?
I'm counting the blessings, so I'm okay.
You have to. Your Monday program will be affected from time to time because in the scheme of things, most of the holidays emanate on the Monday.
Yes, that happens, yeah.
Sometimes they elapse in terms of your program, which is so vital. But we look forward, and it's another day, so we give thanks for life and all of the energy that emanates, be it the wind, the sun, and everything else that makes us who we are.
Okay, go right ahead.
The King, your last program, and I wish to hail out to your friend in Montserrat. You did call a name, I don't know him, we just simply say Montserrat, but I think he do have a name.
Yes.
And Mrs. Henry and all that are listening. But he made a point because there was a little back and forth, and he did talk about what the Bible consists of. And, you know, he used metaphor, and he said you should be familiar because you're a Calypsonian, and within Whitman, so, you know, you bring across the message in metaphoric expression. And I want to stay with the topic at hand. When I tuned in, you did say today, you mentioned water because there's a scarcity of water.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And it's no coincidence that what I wanted to bring, and this is like a launching pad for what I want to say, but I just want to get back to Montserrat. It says that the Bible is full of metaphor, and he also sent out a challenge to the caller before the last about, you know, debating if Africa is not really the cradle of civilization. So
Okay, check this. We got 3 minutes to the bottom of the hour when we have to take a commercial break, so get to your point if you can. We don't want to cut you off, okay?
Well, let me call back.
No, you got
because
3
what I
minutes.
want-
So you got 3 minutes before we go to commercial break.
Oh,
There's,
okay.
there's lots you can say between
Okay,
now and then.
let me get straight.
Yeah.
No, water. Speaking of water, and speaking of what we know in the Bible, there was not such a person of the name we call Noah. It was explaining then the waters, the primordial waters of Nun. So if you go to Genesis chapter 9 and 10 and you hear about Noah and his genealogy, you're supposed to rewind that story all the way right to Genesis chapter 1 when you speak about the water, the primordial water, or the abyss, or the water of care, the primordial water of Nun. And they use Noah as a metaphor in a personage. And Noah had a wife, and he had 3 sons and their wives. So you see the four pairs and their wives, because the wives explain the feminine and along with the masculine energy of the 4 component elements that makes up all what Earth is, all what creation is, all what the cosmos is. And so that's the cosmic order. Now, the very first thing that came out of the waters of Nun, not Noah, and you're talking about water. You're talking about the embryonic fluid of a womb of a woman. It's a feminine energy. And the very first thing that came out of the water is the sun, symbolic of the sun, which would be masculine. And you have the female and the duality. And that is what we can come down to this. Now, our people are with just neophytes still in kindergarten, in Sunday school. We have not raised our level to learn and understand the metaphor of these things. And it wasn't new. But that's all they knew. When they got it, the neophytes got it, they just brought it round in a form of personage. But it is for us, the onus is on us for us to raise our spiritual level to know that. So here you have the first cosmic order of the feminine, the embryonic fluid of the womb that gives birth to the sun. And all things follow from there on. That would come about the other energies of, because we're explaining here the water, which is one, and the sun, which is fire, and so, which is two. And there are other energies. Now, I don't have all of the details to the whole mystery of the story, but at least the foundation is there.
You have
we
given
just
us
have to build on it from here on.
a lot. Because talking about food for thought. I would take this because most of what we know came from our biblical teaching, which was given us from the Church of England, etc., etc. But I'm going to pause at this point for a word from our sponsors and get back into the various debates.
Flow Broadband and TV is packed with even more value as you get a free Samsung tablet, free installation, and 50% off your bill for 3 months when you sign up now. Yes, a free Samsung tablet. Power all you do at home with up to 100 megabits per second super fast broadband. Plus, stay HD entertained with Flow TV. Stream, share, and do more on your new free tablet, which will also keep you connected on the go with ease. Sign up at a Flow store today. Conditions apply.
Buying your medication is easy with City Drug Store's curbside pickup. WhatsApp our certified pharmacist at 662-8769 with your requests. For prescriptions, take a clear photograph and send for review. We will engage you in dialogue and then provide a quotation and link for payment. You can then pay via TDC's online payment portal. And once the transaction is complete, you'll be notified that your pickup is ready. Yes, it's that easy. Send your WhatsApp message to 662-8769 to order your medications today with City Drug Store's curbside pickup service.
Cool. Energize your goals with Lucozade. Get it cool. Look under the cap. Find the code. Win it. Thousands in prizes. iPhones and TVs. Or win 30 grand US dollars for your goals. That's goals.
For a chance to win $30,000 US dollars, purchase any Lucozade Energy promo bottle. Look under the cap and find the code to win iPhones, TVs, and free Lucozade or $30,000 US dollars to energize your goals. See website, social media, or press for details. Lucozade, taste the energy.
To our viewers and callers, welcome back to the program. As we go straight to the lines, there's a call on line. Caller, good morning. Welcome to the program. Okay. Welcome back to all our callers and viewers, listeners. There's a call on the line. Caller, welcome to the program.
Yes, the King. There's a short delay in your system this morning.
Okay.
This is Journey here again. I'm glad you said what we have was given to us from the Church of England. You know?
I was about to say that the first two callers is asking us to re-examine all that we've been taught from the Bible, the King James Version. I mean, there's some stories that are straightforward. There's some that challenge imagination. My first callers today are asking us as a people to re-examine all the many stories and,
Yes, the king. Let me just save my credit here.
Yes.
Yes, exactly my point. The church from England has, let's say, it's spread all over the world, especially to us as a race of people, the black race. And if we are to examine them, these people, as we know it, and the history is there, and we know where they were dwelling before our ancestors saw them coming. Because I mentioned earlier, our ancestors saw them coming, and they had to hid our energy that is now in our bloodline, our melanin. Now, they were dwelling in caves, and today, the question we have to ask ourselves, if Europe was such a vast place, why did they cross over? Why did they have to come onto the African continent? They were killing and warring against themselves, and they were even eating their own flesh. You can research this. They came over, we openly welcomed them. You know, it's funny because just last night I was reading in the book of Isaiah when Hezekiah, after he fell sick and he was about to die, and the Lord turned back the sun. I can't remember the degree, but then he opened up to another king and showed him everything that was in his house. And then Isaiah went to him and told him, after he did that, what did the king of Babylon? Babylon. He said, what did you show the king of Babylon? And I'm quoting, because I can't remember everything. I read it last night.
Okay.
And he said, there's nothing that was in his house he didn't show the king of Babylon. I mentioned the biggest diamond that was in South Africa. Let us ask the queen how she got it. Was it given to her as a gift?
It was
and
taken.
then, again, let me finish. They gave us the Bible that said, thou shalt not kill and thou shalt not steal. And these people's hands are washed in our ancestors' blood. And our people don't know it. So let us unplug, because the energy that we have is on a higher level. If we stay plugged in, we're going to keep their narrative alive. We have to crumble this Babylon system. And our people need to be restored. This is why my voice is on the air. Our people have to be restored. I mentioned the story with Queen Esther and Mordecai. What is being surfaced now is what are being revealed to babes, because the Bible itself says what being hidden from the wise and prudent are now being revealed unto babes. You understand my point?
Yes, I'm listening.
So, them who gave us their narratives, if we stay plugged in, we will never be restored. We need to call on our ancestors and the Most High. Because, you see, Africa as a continent is so easily penetrated because we have no military defense. That is by design. Let us wake up, the king. Let us wake up. We have to save ourselves. We have to be restored as a people globally. This is the only way we can crumble this. And it's crumbling already. As above, so is below. Nothing cannot happen on earth unless it happens above first.
Okay.
Thank you for taking my call.
You're very welcome. I think you want folks to operate from a platform of knowledge, information. You called earlier and you gave out a few websites where people can go to and get some of this information that you're referring to. Right about now, I want to say good morning to Chris. Well, it's not morning when he's in Sheffield in the UK. Good morning to Chris Collins up there. I want to say, well, DJ Mauricio is here within the Federation. Good morning to you, DJ Mauricio. Amber down there in Anguilla. We have Brenda up there in Pittsburgh. And we go to the lines for a call. Caller, you're live on Voices.
Hi, good morning, Socrates. How are you doing?
I call your name almost every day.
Boy, you better keep calling it here. One morning I wake up here, they kidnap you, carry Africa.
Imagine that.
One morning I put on my radio, you hear Socrates reach, where they going to carry you?
But we're kidnapping?
They're going to kidnap you and carry Africa, but they're not going, they're going to send you. Now, I commend the three persons who talk about Africa every day, but a lot is happening in Africa and they seem to be unaware of it. Look at Mali.
Mali.
We talk a lot about Ethiopia, and I haven't heard one squeak out of a soul about what has happened to Ethiopia and Eritrea. And the people even starving, the invasion and all of that. Mm-hmm. Have you heard any of the Afrocentric people say anything about it?
Well, I'm not on radio every day, so I don't know.
Ethiopia,
I don't know if they call on all platforms.
To condemn or to commend, because you have two things there. To condemn or to commend, not a word out of the motherland. Okay. And if you listen to the news, you would hear about, what's the name again? Kimball something other. These people want their own separate state.
I'm not over with that.
Talking about this, I'm
not really over with that.
Between Ethiopia and Eritrea.
Uh-huh.
But the Ethiopia, I keep listening every week to hear these Afrocentric people speak about what is happening in Africa. We have a volcanic eruption. I haven't heard one squeak out of them.
I've been following that.
Up to this morning, you hear about 400,000 people had to
displaced. Yes.
That's Africa, we were so concerned about St. Vincent, right?
Yes.
And I pray for them and I have done my part. But these Afrocentric people come with all these theories. It's like a man preaching to you and you're dying of hunger.
You're saying by comparison they've shifted the focus on Africa and the situation as it relates to the volcano?
Yes, but the theory there must be some practical outworking of it. Nobody said, well, let us get something together to send. The Democratic Republic of the Congo. Mm-hmm. Things they dread, You know that?
I was following the news up there this morning.
Yeah, Africa, liveliest volcano. It makes St. Vincent one look like a joke. People got to be fleeing for him. I think it's Goma, the city name.
Maybe it's a matter of logistics. St. Vincent is close.
But nobody even said a word, so let's prepare them.
Okay, I'm sure we're going to get a response.
When you speak in Africa, come and talk Africa. You have South Africa, you're talking about South Africa, and some man down there, some king down there want to unite. He could start in South Africa,
I read that over the last weekend.
Yeah, So anyway, let me tell all my good, I love the information you give. A lot of you superimposing other pagan stories onto the Bible. King James did not write the Bible. He did not write it. Go to the Jewish Bible and see what you say, because the Old Testament is Jewish history, you know that? Mm-hmm. Check the Jewish Bible and see if it says what you say.
The Torah?
You hear this one about the sun, he was not known, he was the son of the water. When did God call sun and moon? When? I mean, we say we don't believe the Bible, but then we come with other stories that seem to support the Bible, which I find very contradicting. And then let me get to lupus, see here?
Oh, please.
Yeah, because I love my African history, but when we start to make up, add up, because some of us look like we want a separation of the races, it's not going to happen. It is not going to happen.
Let's talk lupus.
We need to be wise as black people. We need to be enterprising. Some of the things we complain about that people do, we could and should be doing. We could and should be doing it. We could rule ourselves. We could. But we don't demand it. Yeah, the 7 pillars of Babylon. Babylon is the whole world system, and we are part of it.
I think he understands that.
We are part of it. And they ain't got no angel in Africa. The media we out here, there's no angel in Africa. And we got to stop blaming people for bringing us out here. If you don't sell mango in the market, mango can't go in the buyer's bag. I love African history. I listen to them and everything and so, but when they start to make excuses, we got to done with the excuses and demand more of our people. Let me get a looper, see?
Please.
I see that this is an Afro thing. Please, next, all of you who are waiting to call in, I want you to tell us what is going on in Africa, all in Mali, in different places we want to hear.
Station break
So we could pick up the atlas and see where it is. Now, lupus. Many people, you know, we hear the word, but because it is not so popular, or some people who have it, hide it.
Yes.
Well, I saw firsthand the debilitating work of lupus. We had a worker at the planning unit some years ago from Sandy Point. A young lady, her name was Donna Herbert. I don't know if you know. She from up the alley. I think alley or up the gut.
I know her.
Yeah, she died young, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Donna was a healthy, strong, full of life, vivacious, good looking, everything, and she had a nice boyfriend, and she had everything going for her. And then we sent her away to Washington, D.C. to do a course. And when she came back, she keep complaining, may feel good, you know. And our doctors here need to be able to diagnose the disease.
It's difficult to diagnose, not even here, but other parts of the globe. You got a lot of false readings.
That is it. I mean, this girl was going to a doctor and getting paracetamol as a child. Watch me, something got to be more than that. And I say, you know, our doctors, they need to, every now and again, revise their knowledge. You know, these things happen. And it happens a lot to black young females.
Yes.
So when you're young and you're black, you don't have diabetes, but you could have lupus and you don't even really realize it until it gets to the extreme.
Mm-hmm.
And some of you would have been to doctors and, oh, you know, I got a pain here and this and that, and they treat you for something else. And this young lady was going to the doctor, in and out, and one day said, girl, look me, go and see, it was Hobson that time, go and see me. Family saying one kind of story and somebody do somebody something and so. And by the time she got, she was sent to Barbados. And she got the diagnosis of lupus. I mean, it was grievous,
devastating, yes.
Painful, watching a young lady
evaporate.
Deteriorate. She up, she down, today you up, oh God. Another young lady, I know, I think she passed too. She was a student in my class. I taught professional secretaries. And I used to look at the person's face and say something, steroid, they're using steroids.
What age group are you talking about now? Because people think you have to be
between
like
20, she was in, because she came to work straight out of sixth form. She had gone 6B.
Mm-hmm.
So she would have been in her early 30s if she reached so far. She couldn't, maybe in the late 20s, early 30s. And she died. And this other one lived longer, but you could tell that something, you know, because they use a lot of steroids to try and control.
Mm-hmm.
And I am telling you, if you see this rash, because at first, you know, she started rash on her skin. Like, you know, sometimes we might say, oh, you know, the sun hot with the sun heat. You know, we don't say that, right?
Yes, quite true.
We got heats, and we don't check it. And so I think they should be checking our young people. Because you could be in college. I don't know how young down below. But I know usually they're in their 20s and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And it is debilitating.
But the rash is just one of the many ways it manifests itself. And so that's a clear indicator, but there's so many other ways that time presents.
Yeah, muscle pain, you know, inability, the blood low and all, oh God. You know, pain, your skin, they hadn't turned blue, and all of those kind of stuff, and so you would see, you know.
Yes.
And she got near death today, then she bounced back. It put a toll on the family, you know.
Sensitivity to light, they can't take on sunlight, stuff like that.
I'm telling you, in the end, she was home in the bed for a while before she passed. You know, and I don't know if there's anything they could do to reverse it. I'm not too sure.
One of the sad aspects of it, many of them contemplate suicide.
Because if you know that you ain't got no cure, because this girl, I'm telling you, you know, if you say you knew her, she was pretty.
Yes, of course.
Well shaped. She could have got in for missing kids.
Just
you know,
wrecks your
looking
system
forward to
throughout.
life. But she can't walk. She can't, you know, she's bedridden. Oh Lord, you know, pale and whatnot. And to the doctors too. Let me get to the doctors too. Because while it is that kind of disease, the treatment is expensive.
A lifetime of
Well, nowadays the
pharmaceuticals.
government service provide a higher rate for their insurance, eh? Because believe me, some doctors, not all, some of them don't care what you want or what you ain't on. Once you show up at this specialist office, they want specialist pay. And sometimes that helps to deteriorate because if they can't come up with the money.
For the medication.
So, and yes, some people just stay home and say, well, since I'm dead, let me die.
Just pine away. Okay.
So to Mr. Hamilton, the National Insurance Scheme, some people may say it's the wrong time to introduce it. While people are demanding these services, but everything comes with a cost. And sooner than later, we're going to have national
Insurance.
insurance. Because you go for dialysis, you might as well make up your mind to die sometimes. And the insurance companies they always know what your thing can cover. So for Mr. Hamilton, Minister Hamilton, Honorable, and Dr. Timothy Harris, and all of you, because lupus is real, and nothing is more devastating than some of them ain't even get a child. They ain't get a chance to get a baby to reproduce herself. And I don't know what tests can be done, but our young ladies, you find yourself always got joint pain. You're too young to get arthritis.
Rheumatoid arthritis.
Check yourself.
Fibromyelitis, just about everything it affects.
You
So
know,
there's
check
diabetes,
yourself.
hypertension, I mean, just about everything. It just
I
destroys the
remember
body.
one time I thought she'd die, boy. You know, she's pale. They got to give her these things to build back the blood. Oh, Lord.
It's a
It's
steroid.
an autoimmune disease for who you think. The body
Correct.
attack itself.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is, eh? It's an autoimmune disease. So that your body attack itself.
I want to thank you for the amount
All
of
right, then.
information you're able to
So
share
if
with
you
the
have it,
public.
don't feel guilty and nothing you did, you can't catch it. Let me say that before you think.
Is it
Even
NCD?
something you can catch. God knows how it starts. Maybe since you bring the topic, you could tell us how people get it.
Well, it affects
Symptoms and
minorities
everything.
mainly 9 out of 10. The victims are female, so there are lots of mystery as to how and why, and they're still guessing. Is it hereditary?
Yeah.
Whatever,
I mean,
they don't know for
mostly
sure.
black females are at a high risk.
Correct.
So please give them the information. And African, please. We're talking lupus today.
Well,
Lupus is an predominantly African disease. All right.
I thank you, Sister Henry. We got about 8 minutes. We can take a station break before we come back to wrap up for the first half of Voices. Coming up.
If you need insurance, our service is the best. Our motor insurance can give you more for less. Property insurance can save you a lot of stress. At TDC Insurance Company Limited, we care about your investment. Guarantee you peace of mind. The best team in the business. Guarantee you peace of mind. No other company will guarantee you peace of mind. Together we'll succeed and guarantee you peace of mind.
TDC Insurance Company Limited, where you get more coverage for less.
Friends is for you and me. Giving back to community. Friends is for you and me. Better for your family. Better service, better price, better value, better choice. Rewarding you for loyalty. Friends is for you and me. Better price and quality.
Flow Broadband and TV is packed with even more value as you get a free Samsung tablet, free installation and 50% off your bill for 3 months when you sign up now. Yes, a free Samsung tablet. Power all you do at home with up to 100 megabits per second super fast broadband. Plus, stay HD entertained with Flow TV. Stream, share, and do more on your new free tablet, which will also keep you connected on the go with ease. Sign up at a Flow store today. Conditions apply.
To our many viewers and listeners, we want to say welcome back to Voices. What about now? I want to continue with some shout-outs. And one of the persons I always try to shout out sometime in the time is our very esteemed Governor General, Sir Tapley Season. Trusting, sir, you're having a wonderful day. And as we speak, there's a call on the line, so we'll go straight to the line and take this call. Caller, you're live on Voices.
Yes, the King.
Yes, you're back. So
To our Queen Grandmother Henry.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she listened last week, but I did mention the volcano eruption in Burma last Friday.
Okay.
And I also send out my sympathies to the displacement of our people who have to be moving along due to that eruption.
Okay.
For Miss Henry again, I would like her to, I know she says she might have some difficulty with her eyes right now, but I'm sure she could have someone who might be caring for her. And if she has the internet, she can go on to Make Africa Great, Wake Up Africa, Newsroom Africa, and Pan-African Daily TV. Now, Ms. Henry also says that we need to know what is happening in Africa. Last week, I mentioned the France-Africa Summit, where Emmanuel Macron called the summit with the African leaders. This week, France has donated $1.7 billion, as well as Germany, $1.3 billion. For me, they may have accepted it. The chiefs, they're a chief organization on the continent.
Question, do you know exactly what that those donations were for?
Well, it was for the genocide in Rwanda. And I don't know if I think they may have accepted. But the chiefs who have nothing to do with government, they were part of the arrangement to get monetary fund. But that figure that they gave, the chiefs did not agree with it. And I am saying, knowing what France is taking out of Africa annually, that is nowhere close to what they have for the continent. That's an insult. Emmanuel Macron is desperate right now because, like I said before, the West is dying. And yes, she mentioned Babylon is global. That is true. But I remember that I did say we need to unplug from this Babylon system because it has us plugged in. We are plugged in many ways. In many ways. And I did say that we need to create alternative system for ourselves going forward. Okay? I also mentioned that we need to develop a solid heart of prayer because we need to call on the Most High. I also said, Mrs. Henry, that we are a highly advanced people. We have fallen and we adapt what the system gave us. We need to be restored and we need to reconnect with our ancestors and the Most High. Now, however you want to interpret that is you. But the Bible, again, have hints, and we need to know how to decode these hints and fit it into our reality, not the reality of the narrative of the system. That is what we need to unplug from. Okay. Because, like I said, the King, if our people know what they're not showing us that is happening, once you be aware of what has happened in the past and is happening today, and you know what they did and what they continue to do. You cannot but help to restore your people. I mean, every other race. Look at what Joe Biden did just recently.
We're coming up to the midday news cast, so before we go, I just got some information.
Yeah, I'm going to finish up. Joe Biden signed a bill into law to protect the Asians. Why is it that we cannot get that kind of protection? Huh? We need to ask ourselves some serious questions here because this is our time. And I mentioned earlier why Africa is so penetrable. We don't have any military power, but we can fight the system with what our ancestors had. Nature would take care of them. We have to call on the Most High because we had that connection. We had it, the King. Thank you for hearing me.
Okay, thank you, sir. I was about to tell you that I had information that the funds you referred to that were donated by from France and Germany was really to do with COVID relief. It was a COVID relief exercise that they undertook. So if you want to respond to that, you can get that information after the newscast. Can we take this call, you said? We would have lost that call at the moment. Okay, we have the top of the hour, and we're going to pause for the newscast, and on the other side, we'll try to continue these various debates. Thank you for listening.
TDC Automotive is paying for you. Deposit? We're paying. 3-month installments? We're paying. Pay nothing for 3 months because we are paying. Take a moment, catch your breath, and roll out with ease. Save over $20,000 off your new Toyota Hiace because TDC Automotive is paying. Get your Toyota Hiace today. TDC Automotive, #1 for a reason. Terms and conditions apply.
Cool. Energize your goals with Lucozade. Get it cool. Look under the cap. Find the code. Win it. Thousands in prizes. iPhones and TVs. Or win 30 grand US dollars for your goals. That's goals.
For a chance to win $30,000 US. Purchase any Lucozade Energy promo bottle. Look under the cap and find the code to win. iPhones, TVs, and free Lucozade or $30,000 US to energize your goals. See website, social media, or press for details. Lucozade, taste the energy.
Flow Broadband and TV is packed with even more value as you get a free Samsung tablet, free installation, and 50% off your bill for 3 months when you sign up now. Yes, a free Samsung tablet. Power all you do at home with up to 100 megabits per second super fast broadband. Plus, stay HD entertained with Flow TV. Stream, share, and do more on your new free tablet, which will also keep you connected on the go with ease. Sign up at a Flow store today. Conditions apply.
Brillo Benji.
Yo, I know you all don't know me, but it's just Brillo, and you're rocking with 98.9 Win FM. Please don't change it.
We now bring you the Headline News. The Headline News is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, KDP Enterprises, Carib Brewery, and Development Bank.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
Everyone struggles at times. Even we too have our own struggles. Do you have a loan at the Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis and have fallen behind on your payments because of financial difficulties? Have your financial situation changed? If your answer is yes, visit the Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis or call 465-2288, extension 1101 or 469-5416 to make an appointment to discuss our debt evaluation and restructuring plan with one of our qualified officers. We are committed to working with you to make a sustained positive difference in your life.
We are faced with tough decisions every day, but choosing the right home or motor insurance shouldn't be one. You need fast claim settlement from a company that's been rooted for over 31 years. And don't forget the A Excellent rating by AM Best. Make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Reliable insurance that you can count on. Get a quote today for your home, motor, contents, and liability insurance needs, and make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance. Tomorrow secured. Local agents, Dalil Walwyn & Co. Limited. Telephone 465-2631 or 469-5303 for the Nevis office.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
We are faced with tough decisions every day, but choosing the right home or motor insurance shouldn't be one. You need fast claim settlement from a company that's been rooted for over 31 years. And don't forget the A Excellent rating by AM Best. Make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Reliable insurance that you can count on. Get a quote today for your home, motor, contents, and liability insurance needs, and make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance. Tomorrow secured. Local agents, Dalil Walwyn & Co. Limited. Telephone 465-2631 or 469-5303 for the Nevis office.
With the Win Headline News, I am Kevon Brown. St. Kitts and Nevis has 21 active cases. Over the weekend, one additional case was recorded on Sunday, May 30th, bringing the total number of confirmed cases to 69. Case number 69 is a national of St. Kitts and Nevis, and according to the health officials, was linked to previous cases associated with the current cluster being contained. The individual is in isolation. When viewing the statistics provided by the officials, the cluster has not reached Nevis as yet. Cases recorded in Nevis stand at 14 and have been at that number since the announcement of number 14 on March 17th. St. Kitts stands at 55 cases. 48 cases have fully recovered. The Federation has recorded no deaths from COVID-19 complications. The 21 active cases are stable. Concerning the vaccines administered this weekend, on Saturday, May 21st, 26,644 doses were administered, 7,313 of which were second doses. St. Kitts has administered 20,160 in total, while on Nevis 6,484 doses found their way into arms. According to the dose count, St. Kitts and Nevis secured, which was 41,600, and with every first dose having a pairing, there are 1,469 first doses and 13,487 second doses left to be administered. Will the health officials entertain one-dose administration to avoid vaccine waste, as we are in the final 4 weeks before the vaccines are set to expire? What are some of the complaints often voiced by bus drivers and other road users when it comes to dropping off and picking up passengers in Basseterre? An exchange between Sergeant Brown and a caller on Wind's Traffic Talk program Monday morning, May 31st, highlighted some of those issues. Brown earlier in the segment mentioned reports of the East Line buses using the parking area at Ramsbay Road, Basseterre, as a pickup and drop-off site.
Concerning the East Line bus drivers, what we are getting is that some of these drivers, they are using the Rams parking lot that's on the Bay Road, making it a drop-off and a pickup point. It's not designated as such, and persons who are caught doing this will be ticketed. The designated area for the East Line bus is at Wellington Road. What you are permitted to do is to drop your passengers down at the West bus, and you continue, you move on. You're not allowed to take any passengers from that area because it is not designated for such. What you are required to do is to drop your passengers there, and you continue and you go back up to the East bus terminal to await your passengers.
After Brown declared that the East Line bus drivers were engaging in illegal road use, a caller suggested that the authorities made no provision for people using public transportation.
Good morning.
Morning.
Just for clarification,
Sure.
you're saying the East Line buses
Yes.
can actually drop passengers?
They can't drop passengers at the West Line. They're allowed to just drop off their passengers.
And they can take passengers from the West bus terminal?
No, they're not allowed to.
They can?
They're not allowed to.
What is the logical reason behind that?
Because the West Line bus terminal was designed for the buses on the West Line. The East Line.
But the East Line buses.
Yeah.
I think, and the terminal was made to facilitate the traveling public, and obviously the traveling public wants a service from, let's say, Rams to the East Line bus terminal because they're going in that direction. I don't understand why should they stop people from stop that service. Essentially, that's what they're doing. They're inconveniencing people. I'm saying, do you think it's reasonable to say to people who are coming out of Rams with the hands full of groceries to get yourself up to the East Line bus terminal?
You're asking me if I think it's reasonable?
Yeah.
Well, I have to say what the law say. What is required. I don't want to
Well, I'm
put
sure
myself
you had
into
some
that.
input in the law. You can make recommendations.
Yeah, but
I mean, anybody using that service.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, it's easy for people who don't use the service to make laws, which I think is the correct one to do. But bearing in mind, the emphasis should be on convenience to the people using the service. Okay, don't just design a service without the people in mind. But shouldn't you make some kind of recommendation, basically to facilitate the passengers on that service? Because
if I could jump in here,
even one stop.
If I could jump in here at this time, I don't know if you could recall if there was a bus stop there just before you just in the area Ready Fry. Buses were lining up, parking up there for extended period of time and causing unnecessary congestion of the traffic. and we were having a serious issue with vehicles can't pass.
Is that the case, let's say,
So,
in front of Rams, where the road is extremely wide? Couldn't you make an accommodation there?
I think the issue at Rams might be the fact that there's 27 streetlights there.
Like literally in one area.
Yeah, that might be a bit of an issue.
As you said, the easy access area from Rams to the what I just mentioned, the bus stop at Ready Fry. Persons could have walked with their luggage from there, but the passenger buses, those were the ones who were really causing a problem. So we had to step in and decide, well, this had to be done away with. But there's one also there at the Sands. There's a bus stop there at the Sands as well. That is still in place. So we have to make the road free and accessible, for everybody, not just for a few.
Well, it's a starting point. Don't you start at making it convenient for people who are using the service, as opposed to other considerations. That's what the bus service is there.
Thank you.
I would say.
Brown replied that regulations were put in place for all road users and not just people who travel on buses.
I am Keith Dover, a COVID-19 survivor. I saw COVID-19 as a flu. My symptoms started as a terrible headache and changed very quickly with loss of appetite, not even to drink water, to blood sugar levels of 600. I was hospitalized and placed on a ventilator for 9 weeks. I developed kidney, lung, and heart problems, which I never had before. I lost 70 pounds and had to learn how to walk all over again. The COVID-19 vaccine prevents you from getting seriously ill like I was, hospitalization and even death. I took the vaccine because, for me, the benefits outweigh the risks. You should get the COVID-19 vaccine too.
In this edition of the Caribbean News Roundup, Mehul Choksi ends up in Dominica's main hospital. One Indian media house speaks of a mystery woman who could end up being one of the fugitive's partners in crime. Dominican lawyers representing Choksi criticized over their claim that he was abducted. The focus is once again on this riveting drama playing out in Dominica, Antigua and Barbuda, and India. The news coming right up. There was another twist in the Mehul Choksi matter on Sunday when he was taken to Dominica's main hospital. Carlisle John Baptist went there Sunday afternoon and was able to confirm that the Indian fugitive businessman was in fact a patient there.
And at the Dominica-China Friendship Hospital, Mr. Mehul Choksi has been admitted. He is at the Emory ward. This is the hospital. He is there. He is under police protection. I have attempted to speak with him, but the police are saying that this cannot be allowed. I did talk to one of his lawyers who was stating that the court has placed a gag order, and as a result of the gag order, they cannot say anything. They are trying to see if they can get this gag order lifted. But what I can confirm to you is that Mr. Choksi is at the hospital right now. He is warded on bed number 17, and we are not sure how long he is going to be there. But that is the situation. As we speak, he is warded at the hospital and under doctor's observation.
Choksi, who tested negative for COVID-19, was in quarantine at the government quarantine facility in the island's second town of Portsmouth when he complained of feeling unwell. More now from John Baptist.
After seeing doctors, he was transported to Roseau and is now a patient at the Emory ward under heavy police protection. Reports are that India has sent the deportation documents for Mehul, the diamond merchant wanted for the PNB loan scam to Dominica. Sources in India investigating agency, the Central Bureau of Investigation and Enforcement Directorate, said only case files have been sent to Dominica. The foreign ministries coordinating the case of Mehul with the governments of Dominica and Antigua, the CBI and the Enforcement Directorate are assisting with case details, sources said. asked about a private jet that arrived in Dominica on May 28th, Antigua's Prime Minister Gaston Brong confirmed it to local media. A gag order has also been placed by the court on lawyers forbidding them to speak to the media about the developments. But as the day progresses, lots of questions are being asked as to how Chokshi arrived in Dominica, since his lawyers allege that he was kidnapped.
An explanation in Delhi on why the Indian government is going all out to get Mehul Chokshi back in India to face trial for the alleged $1 billion theft he is said to have orchestrated. Here was that explanation from one panelist in a News Hour debate on Times Now.
Indian agencies, whatever presence they have in the nearby stations, have been trying to keep a very close watch on Mehul Chokshi. Remember, he is one of India's most wanted and accused, who was accused of carrying out one of the biggest banking swindle, not only in the history of independent India, but also one of the biggest banking fraud across the country. And it is extremely important that India brings him back and his relative Nirav Modi, who is actually incarcerated in a prison in London for a very, very long time, to make sure that the world realizes that Indian banking traditions and Indian banking systems cannot be defrauded and taken a ride for.
On that same program, the host pointed to what she referred to as a mystery woman said to have been in the company of Chokshi.
Let me first go across scoops that we have got at this moment. The last person that Mehul Chokshi was seen with was Barbara Jose. European girl in her late 20s or early 30s is what we've been told. The mystery woman, the fact is, are there any financial connections between Mehul Chokshi and her? What are the dealings of Mr. Chokshi with this mystery woman? The fact is that this mystery woman was seen with Mehul Chokshi at Jolly Point, because Dominica does not have an airstrip. He's come to that island by boat. When he approached this island, he was seen throwing some papers into the sea. What was in those papers? And also, the big question that is being asked at this moment is, was this girl an accomplice? Will India seek for her deportation or look at some sort of connection between Mehul Chokshi and herself and the timing of when he's been seen in her company? On 23rd of May was Mehul Chokshi's last spotting, and he was seen in a restaurant, and in this restaurant Barbara Jose was with Mehul Chokshi. This is the big point that is being looked at by intelligence agencies, and she was with Mehul Chokshi when he was found on the 26th of May. So remember, between the 23rd and the 26th of May, the intelligence agencies have been working with the investigation agencies, and they have seen Barbara Jose over 3 days in the presence of Mehul Chokshi, and that really has been the entire process of nailing down Mehul Chokshi in Dominica. Any information, Nikunj, that you have from investigation agencies on what transpired in these 3 days when Mehul Chokshi was last spotted with Barbara Jose on the 23rd of May, and finally when he was caught on the 26th of May?
And as the Chokshi saga continues in Dominica and Antigua, TV audiences in India have been told what the lawyers representing the fugitive businessman are saying, what they allege happened to him on his journey between Antigua and Dominica. This is what India Today TV reported, quoting the lawyers in Roseau.
Days after Mehul Chokshi was arrested in Dominica, India Today TV has accessed some photographs where he's seen behind bars and injury marks are there on his body. The pictures have emerged after Mehul Chokshi's lawyers allege that he was abducted from Antigua and Barbuda, forcibly taken to Dominica, and was badly beaten up. In the latest statement, they've also argued that Chokshi is a citizen of Antigua and is entitled to all constitutional protections under Antiguan constitution and is entitled to all remedies available to him under law.
While another pundit from Times Now also quoted the Dominica attorneys about the alleged abduction of Chokshi, he made it clear that he wasn't buying that contention.
each other. On the other end, the lawyers that Mehul Choksi has hired are trying to derail and disturb this entire procedure, Navika. And this I would like to put on record, because I have managed to speak to some of the lawyers of Mehul Choksi. I had a very small conversation with them, and they have told me, and they are putting out this theory that Mehul Choksi was abducted from a restaurant in Antigua. He was taken by 7 to 8 people. Some of those people were speaking English, but they had an Indian accent. And he was taken on a boat to Dominica. He was kept in a police station, and then later he was taken to a military area where he was denied lawyer access and any sort of access of family members. So this is a theory that Mehul Choksi's lawyers are pushing at this point in time, completely to derail this entire process and to make it look the way that it is a planned. It was a planned abduction by governments to make him extra to trap him and to send him back to the India.
Meanwhile, it has been made very clear what India wants to happen to Mehul Choksi by one prominent media personality.
Because when Mehul Choksi comes back and is brought back to India, he will have a pleasant stay in the jails of India, and that's when he will begin to spill the beans on how it all happened and who were the people who actually helped Mehul Choksi. Because just the Mehul Choksi story is not enough for Indian citizens here. What they are waiting for is Mehul Choksi to be brought back to India to face the Indian law, the Indian courts, and answer the questions on who was helping him in defrauding Indian banks and the way he defrauded and conned Indian citizens into buying some of the products and schemes that his company floated.
A former National Security Minister in St. Kitts and Nevis, Dwyer Astaphan, is of the view that Mehul Choksi will end up in India to face the very serious allegations made against him. Astaphan was a panelist on Observer Radio's Big Issues program in Antigua.
Well, I don't think the government of Antigua, your Prime Minister has stated quite unambiguously that he would rather that he not come back to Antigua Barbuda. I don't think the Dominica Prime Minister and his colleagues want to be saddled, sorry to use this term, saddled by the presence of Mr. Choksi. The only place I can see him going logically and practically is India. It's just a matter of the logistics. His lawyers will try their best to resist, but we must also remember, you said this is a years-long process in Antigua to get extradition. Extradition takes a long time. It could take 10 years. I wish the gentleman well. If he has committed an offense, then he should face justice.
What I would have said, which is clearly in the interest of the country, the image of the country, to send a signal to all that we're not harboring any criminal here, or criminals to that matter.
In Antigua, Prime Minister Gaston Brown has been pointing to concerns his administration has about fugitive Choksi in relation to his Antigua and Barbuda citizenship. According to Brown, the Indian businessman was able to some extent prevent the due diligence process from unearthing his alleged criminal activities.
He became a citizen through our CIP program. At the time of filing his application, he did not disclose that he had criminal issues in India, and he was able to get the law enforcement agencies in India at the time to give him a clean bill of health. So the due diligence that was done at the time revealed that he was a law-abiding citizen. We do not know exactly what went wrong there, but the government of India would have taken a responsibility and acknowledged that its agencies responsible for sharing the information on Choksi, that they erred. So having heard that he was wanted in India, I actually, under the Citizenship by Investment Act, wrote to Mr. Choksi advising him that his citizenship will be revoked. Mr. Choksi then moved immediately to get his attorney, Dorset and Watt, attorneys, to take the matter to court to get a stay, stop us from completing the revocation of his citizenship. So insofar as we are concerned, his citizenship of Antigua and Barbuda is still an unsettled matter to be settled ultimately by the decision of the court. So his citizenship is not unchallenged. I'm surprised that as a consequence of the recent situation in which he traveled to Dominica, and I do not know that he was abducted as he indicated. He was found in Dominica, whatever the circumstances that put him there. He was found in Dominica and arrested by Dominican police. Initially, we got a report, I believe, on Tuesday. He was missing since Sunday. So we have the view that perhaps he was still on island because we thought that, he would have stayed here to fight his case. And we felt too that the fact that he had this Interpol red notice, that he was unlikely to risk traveling unless he would have done so by boat. However, traveling by boat, he probably would have chosen a nearby country. I mean, there's some who are saying that he may have absconded to Cuba, but we thought that, that may have been a little difficult proposition. Turned out that he was found in Dominica. So I then indicated to Dominican officials, including Prime Minister Skerritt, that when they deport him, because evidently he entered Dominica illegally, even if he was abducted or he went there on his own volition, he entered Dominica illegally. He has no status in Dominica, not even temporary stay status. So the only action that is available for the Dominican government at this time is to deport him. The Dominican government possibly had the option and still have the option of deporting him either to Antigua or to India. Choksi lawyers are trying to make the case that Choksi is no longer a citizen of India. We have been advised by the Indian government that whereas Choksi wrote to them to ask for the revocation of his citizenship, that they never actioned it. So as a consequence, he's still very much a citizen of India, and India expect to be in a position to have him deported to India from Dominica, or if perchance he comes back to Antigua where he enjoys certain legal and constitutional protections, they expect us to continue to pursue him. And the Antiguan government is committed to do so, to revoke his citizenship, and then ultimately to have him extradited to India or deported if his citizenship is revoked sooner than the extradition case would have been determined.
And that's the Caribbean News Roundup for today, Monday, May 31st. I'm Ken Richards. Thanks for listening.
Police are calling this a targeted and cowardly act of gun violence. Investigators say 3 people reportedly armed with assault rifles and pistols stepped out of a car and began firing indiscriminately into a crowd gathered to see a rap concert. These yellow markers an indication of how many rounds were fired. 2 died on the scene and at least 20 people were injured, some severely.
My daughter ended up getting shot in the middle of this. I don't even know. Words can't explain how I feel right now, man. This is a sad moment, but it's a time when the community needs to come together instead of tearing apart.
Families and friends of the victims gathered outside local hospitals for news of their loved ones. Police are appealing for information, calling the suspected shooters cold-blooded killers.
We're working really hard, but it's very difficult to stop a small amount of individuals who want to go out there and commit murder. And it takes all of us to stop this, and we really have to put the work in this summer to keep our children and our community safe.
This latest mass shooting comes just days after 9 people at a California train yard were killed by a lone gunman. Police in San Jose said the gunman had 12 firearms and more than 20,000 rounds of ammunition.
It begs the damn question, what the hell's going on in the United States of America? What the hell's wrong with us? And when are we going to come to grips with this?
According to the Gun Violence Archive, the US has recorded over 200 mass shootings so far this year. President Joe Biden calls gun violence in the US an epidemic and has called for common sense reforms to things like background checks and a ban on what he calls weapons of war. Change, though, needs to be approved by Congress with the support of at least 10 Republicans, making it highly unlikely. Andy Gallagher, Al Jazeera, Miami, Florida.
You were listening to the Win FM Headline News on 98.9. Thank you for listening.
That was the Win FM Headline News. The Win FM Headline News was brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, KDP Enterprises, Carib Brewery, and Development Bank.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
Everyone struggles at times. Even we too have our own struggles. Do you have a loan at the Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis and have fallen behind on your payments because of financial difficulties? Have your financial situation changed? If your answer is yes, visit the Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis or call 465-2288, extension 1101 or 469-5416 to make an appointment to discuss our debt evaluation and restructuring plan with one of our qualified officers. We are committed to working with you to make a sustained positive difference in your life.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
I want to say welcome back to our viewers and listeners to the program. Trust you are still lunchtime for many. But for those who are not, you're free to call in, and I want to thank those who were part of this morning program. Before we get into get any further, I'd like to read from a document that, today's the 31st of May, and it's the 100th anniversary of the Tulsa Race Massacre. I watched a movie some years ago called The Burning of Greenwood. That's referred to this actually incident. It says the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre in Oklahoma was one of the deadliest events of racist violence in American history. The two-day attack led by a white mob resulted in the deaths of as many as 300 black people. 35 city blocks were burned to the ground, and decades of segregation, trauma, and financial hardship followed for the black community. It's a real bloody, shameful stain on American history, MSNBC's Tri-Mainly recently told People. Some people have struggled to recoup what was stolen from them, and others have inherited pain and trauma from the massacre that continues to bear down on them. For years, the massacre that took place from May 31st to June 1st, 1921 was left out of history books and school curriculums. It was underplayed, inaccurately reported, or not reported at all. It began to disappear from the libraries and conversations about American history altogether. But 1 century later, historians, writers, political leaders, and community activists are bringing forth discussions that focuses on the event, what led up to it, and how it's still impacting generations of Americans. I'm not going to read any further, but I've been into many debates and discussions with people who are questioning why black people in America can't rise above the stations, why they can't this. This is a prime example of people who, with the dignity that they still have, in spite of what they've been through, have fought through all the obstacles and pulled themselves up by whatever means, only to be undermined, robbed, destroyed, disenfranchised over and over again. And last week I was able to watch an interview with the lady who is 107-year-old who was given a recounting of what happened back then. 107 years old, and she was able to give testimony of what she witnessed. She was 7 years old at the time. The burning, the looted, what triggered it was a pretext of this black person bumping into a white lady, and that resulted. But in my mind and my evaluation, it was simply envy, grudge and envy against the people who were supposed to be downtrodden, who were supposed to remain downtrodden, who was actually rising, assimilating, and establishing themselves as a people of dignity with potential, with industry and all that, and that was destroyed to set back their race 100 years. And so today has been observed and appreciated for what it is, in terms from a historic perspective. Okay, we're going to pause there and entertain a call from the public. Caller, welcome to the program. You're live on Voices.
Good afternoon, Socrates, and good afternoon to all the listeners at home and abroad. You know, America is good at rewriting history.
Correct.
There's now, I think that they're trying to introduce something called cultural diversification or something into education. And you should hear the uproar, especially among the Republicans and the conservatives.
Yeah.
And now the controversy about 16, 19, or 17.
Yeah, they're trying to prevent that from being taught in schools.
Yeah. I mean, I always say, you know, I don't understand why black people are running into the American army. I say, if I understand, he wasn't going in.
Well,
if I can't enjoy the rights we are born, why should I go and fight for it for somebody else?
Cassius Clay / Muhammad Ali took that stance, and he was sent to prison.
I always say so.
Mm-hmm.
What you're fighting for. And you know, sometimes the 1619 is when they said the first set of slaves came.
Yep.
Africans.
Jamestown.
And they're trying to divorce themselves. They don't want to hear that America was built on slavery. Mm-hmm. And the back of it, the back, the front, and the side of it.
Mm-hmm.
So they're now trying to say, oh, you know, it started in 1776. And they have the gall to say that they were fighting to free slaves. When actually they were fighting for the preservation of slavery.
The Civil War was all about the North and South
The
and the
preservation of
economic.
it.
Correct.
You know, and it's so unfortunate nowadays when they have the protesting. We have the black young people mashing up black people business.
Yes.
They're pushing us back. I mean, sometimes we need to confront some of our people, you know. When you're protesting and you start on your own, where you don't need the KKK, because our people would have had to struggle to establish something given the economic environment in which they live.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, our young people need some understanding. It is right to protest, but for heaven's sake, you're destroying your own.
Would that
and there
be...
are people who justifying it.
Yeah. Would that
People
be because of a
justifying
lack
it.
of the historical information? They don't know.
Some of them know, but they don't care. 'Cause you see, sometimes when we start to say they don't know, we are attributing a certain amount of ignorance to our people. You think that's so ignorant? Even in Senkis. You think our people in Senkis is ignorant?
Let me tell you something. There's some people, a person I've discussed certain aspects of history with. They don't know or they don't want to know.
Now, what you say last is the reason.
They don't want to know.
Want to know. I mean, I listen to discussions in the Senkis, right? You about black pride and this and that. And the same black people bringing other people to undermine. So our people economic development is pushed back. The same people, you know. You hear them talking about, oh, we want foreign direct investment. Well, they seldom come with a blackface. These are people promoting it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had the little shop that the person's grandmother might have built and the auntie carrying on.
Mm-hmm.
And you bring in somebody else who, when you finish, you're trying to tell us, oh, they're oppressing you. Well, who brought them?
We bought them.
Not only brought them, you know, gave them a lot of incentives that they don't give our people. They don't give our people. And we have a lot of people they don't want to know. And it will continue. It always bothers me about what I see in some of the depressed areas where the blacks live in America. If they decide to develop their own thing, but you see what happens, you lack leadership. They lack leadership, you know. They have a lot of people talking violence, so the black can you must fight back and you this, that. They need economic advancement. Talk is cheap, you know.
Well, first, they have to have that broad education about supporting their own.
Yeah, but
investing in their own.
Supporting their own. We got to teach our people how to develop businesses, how to run them, how to manage them, because we even have some in Senkits. They open businesses. They don't have any customer relations. They don't know how to talk to people. Some of them, I recall years ago, I don't know, I went to a workshop in Miami, at the University of Miami, and we were talking about advertising and whatnot. And I came back. No, I used to go around last year, because based on my job, I could talk to anybody. And you give even some people about the way they lay out the stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They just put down things instead of selling. A turn off. Some of them have dead stock for years. They won't call sale. They don't give you the discount. You know, simple thing like that.
Yes,
so the business remains stagnant.
Make it viable.
Stagnant. So other people come in and they mark them. You remember Miss Ford Abbott?
Yeah, of course.
She was an example of
our
herself.
Personality.
You walk in, oh, come. I'm going to take off $20 or $5. You walk into a people's store. You ain't want to go to in here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we need people to teach our people how to not only start a business, but how to progress your business. Because we're asking people to buy from our people when the people who are selling don't appreciate our people.
Let me share this with you quickly. I don't know if you know the name Lloyd Williams. He's a former educator from Sandy Point. He lived in George Hall for many years. I interviewed him a few weeks ago, and he spoke about when he was a child, you know, a young boy going to school. He or young teachers, they would go to Fort Abrix, and she would give them things and tell them, when you can come back and pay. You know, he mentioned her many years after.
I remember when I bought my first black and white TV.
Yeah.
And my husband was trying to surprise me, you know, because we had this young child, and he wanted a son. And we're going to pay a week. She had the cards and them higher purchase.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Singer was doing some higher purchase too. But the rest of them, oh, you can't.
But see, the fact that you made reference to her, and Lloyd Williams, who is in his 70s now, you know, he's a retired educator, made mention to her with the same personality. So the point is really well taken.
Yeah, you know, so a lot of us, we talk about black this and black that. We got to get down to the root of the problem. Our people need to educate themselves. Because all of this thing about they come from Africa, this and that, it don't mean anything because they cannot relate to it. Believe me. And when you say, oh, you're going back to Africa and you're African heritage and so, they're going to ask you, what has that got to do with me? We have to make the information we give applicable to real life.
Yes.
You understand? So to Journey and Africa, whatever you say must be applicable to real life. And you could start in your village. Start in your community, because all of us black. Apply it. We don't have to wait until we go back. So I'm calling upon our people to do better. Because we are the ones destroying ourselves.
Who's to make that call? We know what the challenge is, but the whole thing is how.
Look, just you see, like preaching the gospel. Mm-hmm. I don't wait for nobody to tell me to tell anybody about give your heart to the Lord. It is my duty as a Christian. I used to go to the prison for 16 years. I went to the prison.
Okay.
I go to the Harris's home. People know me on the road. I go in my church. Nobody got to the pastor and got to say, "Oh, Sister Sylvia, you got to go." No. If you are interested in people's soul, you do it. If you're interested in people's mind, you educate them. But young people want to see the application. And I call upon the Rastas too, you know. There got to be somebody that they can see who practice these principles, who doing a certain thing. Until we reach this stage there, we're talking.
I know a few. I've had dialogue with...
But they got to be visible. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
You see, look how the Rastas got a garden down there. Some of them have properties.
Yes. I was going to speak about...
Right. Now you must be able to point to something.
Sankofa.
You could point to Armstrong. Armstrong is a farmer. Pete, Clark. These are farmers.
Sankofa, I think, is very
in
visible.
it for the long haul.
Yes.
Who making a living. That's what we're calling for. So you could talk I know all the theories, because I studied. But what we want to see, for all of my Afrocentric people, on the ground in St. Kitts and Nevis, I want you to make it more applicable. All right, then.
Okay, Sister Henry. At this point, we're going to pause for a word from the folks who make this all possible. A word from our kind sponsors.
Here are your Horsford's Value Mart IGA Value Club Blue Tag specials for May 28th through June 2nd. IGA peanut butter, creamy or crunchy, $7.99. Essential everyday lasagnas, $4.49. Essential everyday pasta sauces, $6.99. General Mills cereals, $15.99 each. IGA salad dressings, $5.99 each. Almond Breeze milk, $12.99. And now our very low weekly value deals. Planters dry roasted peanuts or lightly salted, $11.99. Cream of wheat, large, $11.99. Almond Hammer detergent, just $13.99. 20-ounce Gatorade, $2.99. Yoplait yogurt, $3.39. IGA Honey Bears, $12.99 each. Shop Smart, Shop Value Mart. Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí a Value Mart.
Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less and save more. How, you ask? Essential Everyday and Equiline. Spend less on our Essential Everyday products and get the best quality, the best taste, and the best value. Spend less for all your family health and beauty needs with the Equiline brand of over-the-counter products. Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less. With our essential everyday products and Equiline over-the-counter health and beauty care products. Shop smart and spend less at Value Mart, where price matters most.
To our many viewers and listeners, welcome back to Voices. Today is the 31st day, the last day of May, and we were talking about lupus, maybe in Lupus Awareness Month. As of tomorrow, we're into what happens that follows June, May, right? I got it right? June 7th is the start of Diabetes Awareness Month. And so next Monday, God's willing, we'll be discussing the whole topic of diabetes and related issues. So that's for next Monday. But today we're still observing Lupus Awareness Month. Hurricane season starts when? June 1st, mañana. And of course, there were some concerns as to what's going to happen to the Federation in the current environment with COVID-19. The preparedness, of course, Mr. Abdul Samuel is still the chairman for the NEOC. He's wearing two hats in this particular situation. So, preparedness for hurricane season starting tomorrow as we go to the phone lines. Caller, you're live on Voices. Miss it by a kun. The numbers to call is 466-0989, 662-0989, 762-0989. For those overseas, you got 718-265-6948. From the UK, you got 508, knows that's from the Florida area, 508-921-4619. And from the UK, we got 0333-044-0065. If you want to call and get, okay. We have a call as we speak. Caller, good day. You're live on Voices.
Good afternoon, Sakoti.
Good afternoon, sir. What up?
I'm going to give you a little example
of
what you and Miss Henry is saying is truth. When I was a young boy, and even when I had money, I used to work, but you know the Indian days, the money, how small the money was.
Mm-hmm.
And I went in Miss Ford's Go Look News. You remember them big radio with 4 big speakers and things?
The boombox?
Them powerful radio.
The boomboxes? The boomboxes?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, I got in here Go Look News. And so happened, I point out the biggest one. Right? My mate got money to buy food. Miss Ford asked for the price, she tell me. The price was reasonable. Miss Ford bring the radio to me. She play it. It sound good. Well, I tell her I'm going to come back here. Miss Ford, no, not come back here. You're going with this. No, it's any joke. Sakati be a start to beat back. Kabila got a body. She said, look, what your name? I tell her. Where you live? I tell her. She said, look, I said, Miss Ford, I gave it from my hand. I said, Miss Ford, I got the money to pay. I will just come check it out. She said, well, I don't your head. Come pay me every week. She said, where you work? I tell her where I work in, the company I'm working with. She said, all right, come pay me. Here the joke now, I make a mistake and tell her I do carpentry and I know a little bit about joinery.
Okay.
You know, Miss Ford, tell me, okay. She asked me, you know where I live? I said, I believe I know where you live around the fort. Me not about polishing. She said she got the floor there to polish. I must come and polish it, and she will deduct the money out of it.
Okay.
Well, it's so lucky I had a good partner who didn't know about polishing. Me and he used to work together, and I tell him. And me and he went and polished the floor. But the same afternoon, I left with the radio, 8%.
Okay.
You hear? And the polishing is what paid for it.
Okay.
So that's the kind of woman Miss Ford with. And let me tell you something. We polished the floor so good that she gave us a dining set to polish.
Oh.
Miss Ford never used to let nobody go. Don't go in there and make no mistake. Yeah, that's the type of woman she was. And I wish a lot of businesses, not only the businesses, the lawyers, everybody, do them sort of work thing there to the poor people. And then people will progress more. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, we recall back in the day when we used to look at how you used to say the Syrians, whether they were Syrians or not, used to travel the length and breadth of the country with their suitcases, bringing waste to you, different things, and giving you credit. I saw it in St. Thomas, where it spent quite a number of years, where they did that same thing. And to the point where people would every 3 months change out their dining sets. These people came and gave you total credit, but they were building their businesses. And in a few short years, they had department stores, etc., etc. So you were the target market. You mentioned that you went there and you look at the biggest boombox. So the whole psychology. He wants this. You look at the biggest one. And she saw a sale. She got your information. You're working, blah, blah, blah. You have certain skills. Okay, let's do a trade. You polish my floor, blah, blah, blah. And there's it. So we have to look at the economic exchange in the whole thing. You know, we are still consumers in the whole scheme of things. But the ethics, work ethics, and the policy of these people in terms of the courtesy and bringing you to buy their product, you have to applaud. You have to applaud. But of course, on the other hand, we had a lot of local persons who were like that. One person I could refer to is the grandmother of the current Minister of Tourism, Mrs. Richards. At the time, I mean, you would go to a shopping standpoint and you didn't have enough money, no problem. And that's how she was remembered, a very kind person. There were many, many others like that. Today, sadly, sometimes the customer service, when you go to the stores, leaves a lot to be desired. I've walked into many establishments, stood there, not even being greeted. I give myself a count of 10, and then I just turn off and leave. You don't need my business. And we go straight to the phone lines. Call your live on voices.
Hello, greetings.
Greetings to you, sir. Your live on voices.
Yes, brother Socrates, this is Rascalungi.
Rascalungi, how are you, sir?
You know what is amazing to me, Miss Henry always talking about economic development. That's what Black Wall Street was, the bonnet down.
Yes, I made reference
I mean,
to that.
come on, man. And what I'm saying to you, brother, here's a woman who's saying that she's this Christian. I'm backing colonialism. Palestine is a colony of Israel. You know what I'm saying? And this Bible got us fooled, man. We got to wake up. Palestine is no different from South Africa. It's an apartheid state.
Yeah, but it's got the support of the major countries, the U.S., the backing of, so
yeah,
that's
but
what happened.
Is that, what happened? South Africa had the major support of the major countries.
Not
but
Thatcher.
The black people struggle all around the world, force them to put sanctions on South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
The difference with we and the Palestinians, they're not spread out like us.
They're contained.
The difference. And what I'm saying to you, the Boers in South Africa, the Bible tell them, because you can go on YouTube and check it out, that God gave them South Africa as a promised land here. The same argument they're making in Israel, in Palestine.
Mm-hmm.
The same identical thing. Anywhere the imperialists go, God gave them that land.
The Boers were mainly from where? Germany and what part of Europe were they from?
But, okay, Germany just decided to give Namibia reparations for the genocide. Right? And if we had said that this genocide took place, we people would say it didn't happen, but because the white man them says so now, they acknowledge it.
Okay.
It's the same argument they use.
It appears that we will have lost a caller. We apologize for that. If you have the ability, you can try to call back because there was a very scintillating conversation. Next call on the line. Caller, you're live on Voices.
Hey, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm okay. Always a pleasure hearing your voice.
Yeah, that's good. This thing about some of the European countries that, as they say, giving back. I see it different, because I will ask the question, why now? Some would say it's better late than never. I guess, maybe so. But I am looking at it this way, right? I could be wrong, I could be right. You hear a lot of talk, especially in the European circles and the American circles, about China. And how China what China is doing in Africa and is expanding in Africa and all those sort of things. So I look at it now.
Competition.
I won't will well maybe competition, maybe that word could be used. But I look at it as they not wanting to lose not even one bit
foothold
right of Africa. They're talking about, well, to me this is just a front. It's a FASA, this money thing, because they say they're going to they're giving this money, whether 1-point-something billion towards projects.
The caption is COVID relief. It's COVID
Well,
relief. Somebody sent me a
that
document that says it's really about COVID relief.
I didn't see that one. I don't know if it depends on which country or state in Africa. But those that I'm familiar with, they say, because of this genocide and so on, they are giving this money towards whatever projects. And to me, I see that as a catch. Because, as a matter of fact, number one, in terms of accepting that money or the amount of money, I am not impressed, really. I don't know. That is for the African leaders and whatsoever. But from what to me, that's an insult. But nonetheless, to me, that is just a catch because I don't think it will be delivered. And even if it is delivered, who will control it?
Okay, sorry. What I was referring to was the France-Africa Summit, and the funds they highlighted is really for COVID relief and, the shocks of that. So that was something different to what you were referring to, because last caller spoke about Germany giving Namibia funds for reparations. So there are two different stories there. Sorry.
What I'm talking about is different to what you all are talking about.
Yes.
But like I said, I saw this thing about money being thrown around and money talk being thrown around. I think Belgium is part of it too, what I gather.
Well, it's France, yes, Belgium, yes.
That I read. Yeah, I think something like that. I stand to be corrected. All right? But I do not trust anything like that. Like I said, I don't trust anything at all that is done by them. All right? They don't give something for nothing. And in a lot of cases, when they start to take back, it's going to be far more than what they have given. Maybe when you want to get rid of them, you can't even get rid of them. But anyways, finally, now, this talk about this lady that you all call with the business and so on. And, it is so strange that the way we sort of commend and praise others like this. But the thing about it is, if you go and you take credit from them or they put you on credit, because they're business people, and that's why you see we will forever be consumers. Because I don't think many people recognize the psychology behind all of this. We will come out and they'll say, oh, nice. Not nice.
I did use the word psychology.
It's psychology. But the thing about it is there are a lot of people in this federation where people come and they credit. They don't come back and they don't, and pay. Sometimes they come with short change and they get this stuff. And we do not hear us commend these people, our own people, who have been this generous to our own. Some people have been driven out of business because of bad debt.
Yep.
And now you have persons, what they call the innocent ones, who are now paying for the guilty because somebody might genuinely need of some food, who will genuinely pay, and because of the guilty ones, they are suffering because no credit is extended to them.
Of course.
Because what? Bad debt drives them out of business. With the others, you're going to have to pay them. They might seem gracious enough to tell you, yes, come, you can put it down and thing, but you have to go and pay them.
With interest.
They're not going to run you down. You will go.
With interest.
You see this start.
With interest because they're in business.
Yes. So it's the mentality. But we are going to commend one sector and we don't understand the psychology behind it. And ours, who are being treated so badly, some of them can't even rise above a certain thing for their businesses to be established. Somebody somewhere, some person somewhere want to see it remain on the ground or go to the dogs.
Gotcha.
And they work to get it. And with all of the kindness that is extended, we don't have no appreciation for that. I was just saying, enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very much. I did point out someone who had those characteristics, and it was not about trying to get your business. Miss Richards, I recall her. This was the wife of Mr. Noel Richards, the grandfather of the current Minister of Tourism, Lindsey Grant. She was that person. I mean, you walk into the store, and if he was there, it was a whole different ballgame. But Miss Richards, come on. And if you didn't have enough money, she would extend to you. I mean, she would offer you things. It wasn't about trying to get your business. She was of that nature. Mrs. Paul. These are persons who I would have interacted with, who I could speak to. I know there were many others on St. Kitts because that was the culture of the day. In terms of the merchants who extended credit for the folks, they had a book, and you would come in during the week and you would put down your name and what you took, and on the weekend you would pay. So it was not just the Fort Abricks and those people, but many of the locals. Is there a call on the line? Yes, we go straight to the phone lines. Call here live on Voices.
Hello, good afternoon.
Pleasant good afternoon to you.
Turn down my radio. Hi, it's so nice to interact with you.
I heard your voice in the radio a couple of weeks ago. Say, long time you hear me, friend. What's going on with you, man? Good to hear your voice again.
My friend, how are you?
I'm
anyway,
Go ahead.
That's good. Well, I'm picking up with China. Chinese missed it in a lot of ways. They move kind of silently. I would say sneaky. You know, they get into countries and they do big things. Before you know it, a Chinese shop here. There's one at Wellington Road. There's one in St. Paul. There's one in Old Road. There's one. And this bus problem that they're having, that Chinese supermarket should have never been at the Bayfront. Never. Okay, that's where a lot of buses used to a long time ago.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, continuing. Someplace in Africa, I read, I think it was in the New York Times, yeah, but the Chinese built a hospital with such poor material, the hospital fell down, boom, to the ground.
In place in Africa?
Yeah, I forgot exactly where. Some years ago I read it though, but it's just interesting. It's say Chinese, what is it? Cheap things not good, good things not cheap. And when they're cheap, when they're accessible, they really ain't good.
We don't want to be bashing any one particular race, but China has a global policy, which is world domination. Now, in the U.S., they change the presidents every 4 or 8 years, and the policy changes from Republican agenda to Democrats. So they have this roller skate issue. When it comes to China, they have a 100-year program, and it's been consistent in their policy, and is aimed at global domination, and they're on track of getting there. Look at this shipping.
Let me tell you.
Look at what they're doing in terms of sending the people out to assimilating various other cultures is part of a 100-year agenda. And the sooner we accept that, the better we know how to deal with it. Go ahead.
Yeah. Let me tell you, they're just mystic people. I'm just telling you. And China's foreign affairs is huge. Thousands of people. You know, and that is to make sure that China spread its wings.
It's a mega outreach?
Yeah, I mean, all the Caribbean countries, you see a presence of the Chinese, and they're not necessarily from Taiwan. Let me put that out.
We were the nation.
So it's interesting, you know, how they function, and sometimes. I'm sorry, but anytime I see a fish that say China, and you got to be careful with some of those fish that they say come from the United States, because the United States doesn't have such a big fisheries industry, and they get some of their fish out of China, and they're toxic. There's so many documentaries talk about that tilapia and some of those other fish.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you got to know where they originated. Every time I see fish from China, I would not buy it. The standards sometimes, there's something operates in substandard just for the money. Not all the time, but China has been good otherwise. to a lot of developing countries, but you got to wonder how much more they benefit. In the same vein, we welcome everyone, the Chinese, the Indians over on Port Zante, the Jamaicans are getting a lot of restaurants now put up. The Dominican Republic people, the Dominicans that are in your town, and you hear the music blasting over there when you walk past Fulton Bakery.
So are we all welcoming?
We welcome everyone. But what's interesting, though, I was looking at the video, and anyone can access it by just going to YouTube, and you put in Jamaican living in St. Kitts, you see Andre Fury comes up.
I spoke with him this morning about that, too.
He's talking about Jamaicans, and he's almost given an invitation for Jamaicans to come to St. Kitts. And he said how easy it is to come to St. Kitts. And funny enough, that I have a friend from Dominica, and she said her sister works in the central bank, and she has invited her other sister to live with her, and she might be moving soon to St. Kitts. Trust me, Mr. Ward, I just say, Mr. No. I just say, And then when you look, I keep looking at the central bank people and really.
We're going to have a partial break shortly, so please wrap up for me.
The whole family.
It's called the Central Bank. It's not St. Kitts Bank. It's the Central Bank of the Eastern Caribbean, so we understand that. But we can continue this at some other point. Well,
and then they bring the whole family. It's something sweet about St. Kitts that Kittitians ain't realized yet.
Make sure you get your own piece of the rock. That's all. Make sure that you secure your own piece of the rock, and that's all you need to do.
Me and Martin especially has been pushing CARICOM integration. She want to make it so easy that it's almost like there's no trouble in working anywhere. And you know where they're coming? This is a secret going around the Caribbean.
St. Kitts?
St. Kitts is economically viable. It's a good place to work. They ain't going to give you no trouble. Come. And that's practically the message that I got from Andre's interview.
Bless his heart.
But the problem is, it has to be balanced. Because
you have to pause for a station break shortly, so please wrap up.
Sure. Okay, yes, I recognize that. The problem is that we have, a lot of people with jobs, students coming out and cannot get jobs. So that's a difficulty. But apart from that, they bring a culture that is rich, and there's some positive things. But that got to be balanced out and watched. And I don't want a lot of people coming into St. Kitts and Nevis, because it will make things not only bad for the native people, but those foreigners that are now living in St. Kitts and Nevis. And another thing, Mayor Motley in Barbados, person with a bachelor's degree and now cashiers. Because and then in Trinidad and Tobago, persons with a law degree are taxi drivers now.
And in St. Kitts, taxi drivers are other jobs, so it goes around.
You know what I mean?
We do have to take a station break. Take a station break, right?
Thank
you. Thank you for your contribution, and we go straight to the board for a word from a sponsor.
Here are your Horsford's Value Mart IGA Value Club Blue Tag specials for May 28th through June 2nd. IGA peanut butter, creamy or crunchy, $7.99. Essential everyday lasagnas, $4.49. Essential everyday pasta sauces, $6.99. General Mills cereals, $15.99 each. IGA salad dressings, $5.99 each. Almond breeze milk, $12.99. And now our very low weekly value deals. Planters dry roasted peanuts or lightly salted, $11.99. Cream of wheat, large, $11.99. Almond Hammer detergent, just $13.99. 20-ounce Gatorade, $2.99. Yoplait yogurt, $3.39. IGA Honey Bears, $12.99 each. Shop Smart, Shop Value Mart. Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí a Value Mart.
back with the programs. We go straight to the phone lines. Caller, you're live on Voices.
The King.
Yes, sir.
Back for my second contribution. I'm going to try to be brief.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Just that you were not even given the comfort, the luxury, or the gruesomeness of being kidnapped back to Africa. That was a one-way street. It was a one-way street, and not just being kidnapped by your adversaries. Let's keep it real.
Not a problem.
Joseph's brothers sold him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the notion and the argument that our brothers sold us, we have this template. We are the Josephs of this era.
Okay.
That's the argument. So I just wanted to put that in there. It was a one-way street. Anyway, I'm going to get to the crux of what I want. They kept it biblical, except to say that Mountstadt has thrown out an offer about, the origin of civilization. There's a few that has done a tremendous job in terms of Africa and all things African. I just wish to quote something from the head, the chairperson of the commissioning, the canoning of the 66 books, which was compiled and was enjoyed as King James Bible. There are other versions, but there are other books in other versions, like the Book of Enoch and the Maccabees and the like. I just want to read from what Eusebius. He was from Caesarea. He was the bishop, but he was a chairperson commissioned by Emperor Constantine, to compile what books they might see as orthodox or opposed to what books they discard as heretic. And so he said that the religion published by Jesus Christ to all nations is neither new nor strange. Although without controversies, we are elate, and the name of Christians are indeed new. Yet our manner of life and the principles of our religion have not lately been derived by us, but were instituted and observed, if I might say so, from the beginning of the world. Just want to quote one last thing he said here, in another passage, in which he said that, speaking of who the Gospels and the Epistles that was inherited, he said that these ancients, and they are called by a Greek name here, the therapeutes, which are the healers, but we know them as the Essenes, were Christians, and their writings are our Gospels and Epistles. Now he's saying that the Essenes, which predated Christianity, and some would argue that, like earlier, John the Baptist was an Essene, and so he is crediting these guys for the Gospels and the Epistles, which were earlier, but they come by a Greek name, the therapeutes, which Philo, in the early centuries, an Alexandrian, quote-unquote Jew, spoke about the Essenes. Well, I want to ask Queen Mother Henry, who are the Essenes? Because they are a lot of discoveries, and they were accredited for what they call the Dead Sea Scrolls, which were discovered after the canonization of the 66 books. There were other books that were discovered, like in 1945, in a place called Nag Hammadi in Egypt. They're called the Nag Hammadi collections or library of scrolls. But the Dead Sea Scrolls are much debated by scholars, and you would not hear, like for instance in the Dead Sea Scroll, Abraham the Hebrew. How that word Hebrew is that
later.
You would hear Abraham the Epheh. Okay? So who are the Epheh and who are the Essenes? Queen Mother Henry, please enlighten me as to who are the Essenes that wrote these Gospels and Epistles.
Okay.
Because they're still alive today. Thanks for listening.
Appreciate that. I'm pretty sure if she wants to respond, she can. But to respond to my the caller before you about we were discussing China, and I'm saying I don't want people to feel that we actually bashing China like that. In the geopolitical landscape, the superpowers are all fighting to be top dog in the yard. Let me pause for a call. Caller, you're live on Voices. Caller, you're live on Voices.
Socrates.
Speaking.
Good afternoon.
I've been calling him all this on the you're cutting, so go right ahead. You got the phone. Go ahead.
No, me just come to the house just as Mother Henry. It's some little thing about disease Africa that all me here, and then the news and then fun thing. Anyway, me not waste no time this afternoon.
You do your thing.
Let me say good afternoon to all the listeners.
Mm-hmm.
And me want to big up me positive caller. You see when me positive caller deal with social issues, Socrates. You see what she said today? Me can listen to she for the whole entire year.
Okay.
As long as they deal with social issues, me just lay back and just listen to her.
But don't go biblical.
No, come biblical. No come biblical at all. Anyway, what it is?
Sir.
Kalunji said something today that will really hype me up for Colin. Kalunji said that the Bible a fool away. What's your business, Kalunji, chat boy? One book will give you present, future, and even beyond that, I tell you about eternity. One book like that can fool you.
It depends on what one is prepared to accept as a Bible. It's truth, you want to challenge it, etc., etc. Many people do that.
Well, let me tell you something, Socrates. Remember, me tell you that me got a little study for do with you.
Mm-hmm.
When me come with the study from the Bible, me go make Kalunji look shame, you know?
Yeah.
Me go make them look shame. Shame. You catch me?
A healthy debate is always good.
Exactly. Anyway, that all me a little bit. More to shout up, me hear you shout up, Tappy Sitting today, so me want to shout up, Dr. Clark, Senator Clark.
Okay. That's
Want
quite
to shout up. Right.
Hope she's listening.
Okay then, and me not hear my sister voice for a very, very long time. USA representing Canary.
Okay, yeah.
Okay then.
All right, I want to thank you for your contribution. The program is never the same without you. Okay? And we have another call on the line. Caller, you're live on Voices. Go right ahead.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. How about that?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm very glad that you just mentioned that you're not into Chinese bashing.
No.
Because, I get the impression sometimes that quite a lot of people are. And
that's understandable.
Why is it understandable?
Because they don't understand the Chinese agenda. If you understand the agenda, you understand why certain things are happening.
The Chinese agenda, according to who?
Their statement. They have a 100-year program. It's about world domination. I mentioned...
I've actually said that they...
Of course, I read this years ago. They have a 100-year program as a policy
of
world domination.
World domination.
I made reference to the Americans to change their policy every 4-8 years based on the election, who's the Republican thing. The Chinese has remained constant in their programs. I read this years ago.
World domination.
Economically.
Okay, right.
Militarily, etc., etc.
No. What I'm saying is that could easily be misconstrued because when they say world domination, they could mean leadership in terms of the economy. In other words,
yes,
taking over
it's really economically.
Right. Okay.
But also supported by economic might.
Okay.
Military might.
And that's why I asked agenda according to who, because yes, the U.S. in particular is now waking up to the fact that the Chinese can be a threat. Okay, but but should we follow that line? Because that is what I think the U.S. seems to be trying to do, to get everybody else, Europeans, the Indians, the Russians, everybody else, the other countries in Southeast Asia, to toe their line.
First, it was against the Russians. Remember, the U.S. was trying to get us to toe their line against the Russians. Remember that?
Right.
And it was against China.
And don't you see a similar pattern now with China?
Of course.
Right. Right. So what I'm saying is, the point I'm making is, should we, as small countries, follow that line? Should we, rather than bash the Chinese or be suspicious of their agenda, shouldn't we engage with a view of benefiting from the success of the Chinese? Shouldn't we aim
Our
to
leaders have to be very careful.
Yes.
Very careful. I can give you a story related to me when we joined the UN. On the very same day that our small nation was accepted at the UN, there was an attempt to bribe our brand new Prime Minister. And he turned it down because he saw the play. There were people there lined up, and somebody from Antigua was saying, okay, you need to talk to these people because, and he bypassed that. He would not buy into that because they were there waiting for you. So we went with Taiwan over China.
All nations do that.
That is correct,
right?
But our leaders have to be careful.
And one can argue what exactly were the benefits of going with Taiwan as opposed to mainland China.
One can argue
I think when we became independent, I mean, mainland China, in terms of economic growth, was nowhere near what it is now. And the mere fact that so many other countries switched their recognition. Well, I won't say allegiance. As a country, as a sovereign country, we shouldn't have allegiance.
Mm-hmm.
But the recognition of
one over the other,
which China to accept. Okay, and personally, I don't think we should get involved in the toss-up between Taiwan and China. Okay, I mean, Taiwan is in terms of population and size and clout, is way under what mainland China is. And what I'm saying is, our foreign policy should be conducted in our interest,
the best interest of the
not
country,
in the interest of anybody else. Okay, and so we yes, our leaders need to be suspicious of any big power, because that's how big powers operate. Okay, they want to maintain their leadership, but we should not put ourselves in the box and say, well, we're going to toe the line of any one power. We should be able to maneuver and make sure that whatever we decide is to our best interest. And with regard to Chinese that are currently here, I think most of them are from mainland China. Is that correct?
I'm not sure. I know speak the language.
It would be interesting. It would be interesting. But one of the things I find here, we keep saying that the Chinese here, they pretty much stay to themselves, don't engage, don't support local stuff, and that kind of thing. But it takes two to tango, and there's absolutely no reason why we can't try to engage them, because I don't think we try really hard enough.
I have.
Right? You have?
I have. I try to get sponsors for, the local Calypso tents, and not even a response.
And you're always turned down.
Of course.
Well, don't you know the next step to take?
You tell me.
They have to operate in our environment here, right? Get the government to pressure them.
Little old Socrates. We're almost out of time. You see, you call at this time when we're almost out, and we have this great conversation, which I have to cut you off, and I really don't want to. You expect a little Socrates to go and appeal to the government.
Who is little Socrates?
Me.
Get the big guns to do some arm twisting. That is what's going to take.
Aye.
Okay? All right.
Great talking to you. Unfortunately, we're out of time. And I'm going to leave you with a line from a Calypso by Gypsy. You know, he just going to use the phrase, only the grass get trampled when elephants fight. So your point is well taken. We have to be careful how we deal with these superpowers because they say only the grass get trampled when elephants fight. On this note, I want to say thank you to our listeners and viewers. It's been a pleasure for all the persons who called and made a contribution. Once again, it's been a lovely day, another beautiful day here at the Win FM station. Hopefully next week, Monday, as we take on the start of Diabetes Month. Bye now.
Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less and save more. How, you ask? Essential Everyday and Equaline. Spend less on our Essential Everyday products and get the best quality, the best taste, and the best value. Spend less for all your family health and beauty needs with the Equaline brand of over-the-counter products. Portsmouth Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less with our Essential Everyday products and Equaline over-the-counter health and beauty care products. Shop smart and spend